Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. This is going to be my video response to John, Mr. Captain Howdy himself. It's going to be my tribute to his 1987 subs contest. Um, I think he put it up like a week or two ago, a couple weeks ago or something like that. So if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you definitely kind of jump on board. Um, Yeah, I mean, I'm sure most of you guys know John here in the VC at this point in time. And if you don't, make sure you go to his channel and sub. I'll put a link down below here. Really cool guy, and just one of those guys that really kind of embodies all things music. You know, he has an amazing collection. He has an amazing autograph collection. He plays guitars, has an awesome guitar collection. He plays piano. It's just like he's just has used to have the Trans Am. I mean, just like all things music. It just really kind of encompasses him, which makes him just a really cool guy to be around and listen to and watch and everything else. So definitely want to jump on board. And I told him I was going to make a response to this. And I wanted to make sure that I jumped in before this weekend started rolling around and I got to doing a bunch of things because John's the man. So I definitely love the fact that he kept this contest kind of open in the sense that he didn't really narrow us down into just one particular genre or one particular this or only three of these or something like that. But basically, it was just 1987 was an awesome year. Show me some of your favorite stuff from 1987. It's like, okay, you asked for it. So, because of course, those of you that know me here in the VC know that I like a lot of different genres. I'm kind of all over the place in terms of my taste. And then also 82 to 83 to about 88, 89 is like my ultimate time of pop culture. And so all things movies, music, and everything in that little time frame is just like gold to me. So of course 87 is just right down the middle of that. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff that I wanted to pull out and kind of show. There's a lot of core things too that I did kind of avoid because I know there's a bunch of stuff that I'm sure a lot of us will show over and over. So I didn't pull out stuff like Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. I mean, total classic. We all know that one, and I'm sure a lot of us will be showing that one. What are some other key things that Momentary Lapse of Reason, Pink Floyd, I think that was 87. Hysteria, Def Leppard. So, you know, definitely a lot of solid core albums. Don't think I forgot these. I just tried to pick some stuff that I thought maybe everyone wouldn't be showing, even though there's some stuff that everyone will be showing that's still in here. But I tried to not, to go to some of those core that's almost mandatory that you show them, So let me just kind of jump right into it. And I won't go into depth on all of them because it'll take forever if I do. But I'll give a little bit about some of them. Like starting with this one, which is Keith Sweat, Make It Last Forever. It came out in 87. You have to keep in mind, too, 86, 87, that's kind of my, 6th grade, junior high type of phase there. And so one of the things that was kind of special about this album is this was one of the first R&B albums that I really kind of got into that wasn't like Motown. This is one of the very first ones that, made you go like this. Because at that point in time, it was all just, rap music and hair metal. And then your pop stuff like, Prince, Purple Rain, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is one of the very first R&B albums I got into, and definitely a classic and a mainstay for me. And then of course, you got to go with Midnight Oil. I'm sorry, another great album. This is one I need to get on vinyl too. I purged my other copy because it wasn't in the perfect condition, but I really want to get my hands on another great copy of this. But songs like Beds Are Burning, which I think is just an awesome track, very powerful, creative track. So that's another one from 87. I'm not gonna say this album as a whole, but the song Mary's Prayer by Danny Wilson, that's definitely one that'll be on my list. Definitely one of my top 20 songs probably that came out that year. it's just an awesome song that produces a great mixture between the popish kind of thing that was going on at the time, of course, and then there's also kind of really this underlying almost soulful delivery in the way that he presented that song. And you have to kind of pay attention to it and feel it, but it really is kind of underlining there with just some of the rubato and stuff that he uses in his voice. And it's just always a song that I just thought was fantastic. And it's definitely one of my favorite songs from that year, which is Mary's Prayer by Danny Wilson. It's been used in a few different movies and whatnot. So I think in Something About Mary, that was one of the places I remember it being in there. And of course, one of the most classic rap, actually I would say rap slash hip hop, but definitely just pure rap albums that you'll ever find, Paid in Full by Eric B and Rakim. That's another fantastic one. And again, that's one of those songs that's so perfect and so defining, not to mention just one of the best MCs of all time. That, you know, if you have an alien that comes from a foreign planet or a distant planet and it's just like, hey, what's this rap hip hop stuff that we've heard about? Like, what is it about? You could hand them Paid in Full and, you know, do a pretty good job of kind of explaining it all to them in that one song. So another definitely classic album there. Dawkins, Back for the Attack. Definitely one of my favorite hair metal genre albums, if you will. And this is one too. Again, my friend Matt that used to live next door to me when I was growing up, he was the one that really started to introduce me to all the hard rock, classic rock, and, you know, metal and everything else. And so I'll never forget, you know, he used to his mom had a stereo system in her room, which was upstairs over, like, right over a balcony, and he would pull those big speakers that she had out and put them in the hallway shooting out into the living room. So he would, you know, play everything through there. And there were two albums that he used to just blast to no end. He couldn't stop playing them when they came out. And one was Van Halen's OU812. He loved that album. And Dawkins' Back for the Attack was the other one. And he always talked about, you know, just how much he loved the intro, that guitar riff of Kiss of Death. And sure as crap, like, I hear it to this day, and it's just to hear it kick in gets me so freaking pumped up. So he literally beat this album into me by listening to it every freaking day after school, and we just loved it. So, but yeah, great album, you know, Kiss of Death, Prisoner, Heaven Sent, and of course the soundtrack, Dream Warriors from Nightmare on Elm Street. Just a classic Dawkins album. I love that. Never get tired of listening to that one. Fleetwood Mac, Tango in the Night. This was a big album, but still, in my opinion, a very underrated Fleetwood Mac album because of all the incredible stuff that came beforehand. But, you know, songs like Big Love and Little Lies and When I See You Again, another beautiful ballad. But, you know, the song Seven Wonders is probably one of my top 3 Fleetwood Mac songs ever. You know, not to mention just Stevie's vocal delivery and, of course, you know, the groove section of that song just being so smooth, simple and so smooth. But right after the vocal part of the chorus, that whole, for lack of better terms, the way I put it, that talking back and forth that McVie's piano was doing to Buckingham's guitar, I mean, it gives me goosebumps to the point where they literally hurt. They're just so freaking strong. So yeah, I love that album. That's a great one from '87. My first Heart experience. The first, you know, because up at this point in time, I didn't know about Barracuda and Dreamboat and all that stuff. I had no clue. And the song "Who Will You Run To" was a big rotation hit on the radio. And so this album, Bad Animals, is what introduced me to Heart. You know, and that was a time period too. I remember Heart and Guns N' Roses. Like, there was this time period where those were the only 2 albums, Appetite for Destruction and this, that I was listening to day in and day out. So I experienced and learned about both of those albums at the same time, like literally within the same month or 2 of each other. But, you know, great stuff. You know, Who Will You Run To, Alone, kind of more their mainstream radio hits. There's the Girl. But then also there's a song on this called I Want You So Bad. That's really kind of not spooky, but it gives me a weird vibe. When I listen to that song in conjunction with the cover, it actually kind of freaks me out a little bit. So I don't know what that's all about. But still, it was moving. Back some of the old school hip hop, Heavy D and the Boys, Living Large. Definitely a fantastic album from that time period. Mr. Big Stuff, all that good stuff. And I spoke about this in a recent video. Another good one for 87, Napalm Death Scum. You know, really good stuff when you start talking about, you know, this style of metal, if you will, which I guess falls under the like grindcore or whatever. You know, this album is oftentimes referred to as kind of, you know, one of the core albums that really kind of spawned that. And it was definitely the first one that brought me and introduced me to that genre of metal. And I remember the one song that really brought me in was the song The Kill, which is only like 7 seconds long, but it's just 1 7-second blast beat, you know, going crazy. And I just remember the first time hearing that, just being like, oh, that's interesting. You know, but I think that came out in 87. Another classic here too, New Order Substance, 1987. And again, you know, New Order, another great band. I guess part of the spawn off of the whole Joy Division or whatever, which I didn't know for the longest time. But this was an album that I actually, or even the group as a whole, I learned about in college. You know, I had a suite mate. They were soccer players, actually. You know, there was like two to a room, and then all four of you shared one bathroom. And the suite mates was a soccer player. And between between the hours of 5 to 7, it was just kind of a free time where you could play your music as loud as you wanted to or whatever. There was no like rules. And one of the things he used to play all the time was this freaking New Order, especially the song Bizarre Love Triangle. He played that all the time. I just remember it only took him 1 or 2 times playing it when I was just like, what the heck is that? That is so awesome. That was my freshman year in college when I discovered New Order for the first time. So I have to thank him for that one. And In Excess, of course, Kick. Everybody knows about that one. I don't have to go into detail with that. I actually didn't like them very much when they first came out, but they grew on me more as I got older. I started to appreciate what they did a lot more. And John, I know you'll agree with me on this one because we've had this talk a number of times in the past. Kiss Crazy Nights. I don't care what anybody says, one of the top 5 Kiss albums of all time. Great songs, great for the time, and just a great, great album. So songs like Crazy Nights, I Fight Hell to Hold You, you know, Reason to Live, Turn on the Night, which is another great song that gets very overlooked. I think that Turn on the Night is just a great example of what I refer to as party rock. Back to some more old school rap here, LL Cool J Bad. I don't know how many times I've listened to this freaking album over the course of my lifetime. But this was huge back then. This came out in 87 as well. And so, you know, I'm bad, I need love. Just all kinds of great stuff. And I threw this one in more so because of one song, not necessarily the entire album. It's a good album without question. But this does have the song Rock and Roll Gypsy, which is one of my favorite glam/hair metal songs of all time. It's just, I don't know, it's just perfect. It's everything about it just encompasses what I feel that time period was about. And I love the recording on this. It's almost like this nice mixture between like a studio version and a live version kind of put together is what it sounds like. And so yeah, just really, really great stuff. So that's Hurricane Eyes by Loudness. That's another great one from 87. Of course, you got Randy Rhoads Tribute, Ozzy. Everyone knows about that one. Sepultura, Schizophrenia. Another great album there. So that was a good one from 87. One of the great soundtracks, Some Kind of Wonderful. You know, again, falling into all great things about pop culture in that mid-80s. You know, so this had great stuff on it, like, you know, Turn to the Sky by the March Violets and I Go Crazy by Flesh for Lulu. And again, fantastic movie, fantastic soundtrack. Neither one of them ever get old. Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me by The Cure. mean, you can't leave that one out of a 1987 discussion, especially with songs like Just Like Heaven, which again is as perfect alt slash pop song I think that you can ever get. That there's nothing you could possibly do to make that song better than it is. It's just a perfect work. And then the last two here, another soundtrack going with Lost Boys. Again, another classic movie from '87, as well as a classic soundtrack. And this is one of the more common ones, but I feel like I kind of had to show this one too, which is U2, Joshua Tree. So there you go, man. There's some of my just kind of random picks there from '87. Again, congratulations on the contest. Congratulations on the subs. Glad I got a chance to get on board and do a quick response. And as always, VC, let me know what you think, and we will talk to you soon. All right, take care, guys.